Hello and welcome. My name is Xander. I will be your instructor through this tutorial. Now, this tutorial is actually part of a whole course which you can access the first stages for free here on YouTube. Now, in this tutorial, I might mention resources and other tutorials. Do check out the link in the video description, which will take you to the playlist, and also there will be a link to the resources so that you can access and follow along here on YouTube. Now, if you like this course, you found it useful, and you want to take that next step, you can find this course over at Udemy. All the links to the resources can be found in the video description. Now, don't forget, also subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and free course giveaways. In the previous tutorial, we learned how to build a one-to-many relationship using foreign keys. Now, when defining a foreign key, we typically specify an on-delete action to control what happens to child records when the reference to the parent record is deleted. So let's take the example of our category table. So let's imagine this is our category table. And then we have a relationship, a one-to-many relationship between category and our products table. So what we're going to end up having is one category. Let's just say that is TV category. And then in the products table, we may have multiple products connected to that. So we may have some sort of Sony TV. We may have some sort of Samsung TV. We may have other TVs, LG TVs. Okay, so we've got lots of products, which is all referencing the TV category. So the question is, what happens when we go ahead and delete a category? Remember that the products in our product table is referenced, is connected to that category table via the foreign key, which of course corresponds to the primary key of that category. So what we end up having, by default at least say, is that if we delete the TV, we end up with this data in the products table, which no longer references a category in the category table. So typically we might say that if the parent record, in this case TV, is deleted without proper on-delete rules set, the child records here in the products become orphaned, meaning that they still exist, but they reference a non-existent parent. So here I've used some generic terminology here to describe what actions we can perform when we delete a parent record. So we can set the on-delete to cascade. So we can define that when we delete the parent record, that we cascade. So if we set cascade on a foreign key relationship, it means that when we delete a parent, it will also delete all the related children or child records. Now that can be pretty dangerous in some scenarios. Imagine you had 1 million products connected to this one category, and we accidentally delete the category. Of course we probably have backups, etc. But this is just to emphasize a point. If we delete that category, then all of those products will be deleted if we set the on-delete relationship to cascade. Other options include set null. So if the parent record is deleted, so the database would automatically find all the related fields in the products table and then go ahead and change the value to null. Other options typically include setting a default value if we should delete the parent record, and we have other options to restrict or no action, which is going to prevent any accidental deletion of important data, because it's going to prevent you from actually deleting a parent record if there is any related child records. Now, I do recommend you taking a look at the Postgres database documentation if you are working with Postgres, and have a read through the constraints in the documentation. It helps you establish the rules of constraints here, discussing check, non-unique, primary, foreign, and exclusion constraints, much of which we have now covered in actual fact. So if we go over to the foreign keys, a bit further down, it does then start to discuss the on-delete options, We are told here that the default in PostgreSQL, if we don't specify an onDelete action, is no action. And this means that if any referencing rows still exist, when the constraint is checked, an error is raised. So this means we cannot delete a parent if a child record exists. So that's the default behavior. Now, because we have already created our foreign key constraints, we will need to delete them before we then go ahead and re-add them with the onDelete restriction. Here we're going to set up the restrictions and set it to restrict. So that's going to prevent any sub or child records being deleted when we delete the parent record. So here in the category, I think that is a good setting, because if we do have this hierarchical structure of having subcategories, if we accidentally delete a parent category, we don't want to delete all of those subcategories. So using restrict there would help us in that instance. Similar, if we delete a category, we don't want any products to be deleted. So again, we're going to set this up initially with restrict, so to prevent that from happening. As we get maybe deeper into the development process, or if you are very clear as to how the application should work, then you'll probably be able to identify straight away the correct action you want to take or set on the onDelete behavior. So we will set the restrict on all of the relationships that we've created thus far. Like I said, that will require us to drop the existing relationships. So for that, we have this command alter table, so products, orders, and category, and we simply just need to use the drop. We haven't seen this yet, so this is how we're going to drop a constraint. Using the keyword drop, we're going to drop a constraint if it does exist. Okay, so if it doesn't exist, well, we're not going to delete it, and let's give that a go. So we'll copy that and paste that in. Looks like that has made the changes, and now we go ahead and alter the tables back to include the constraints. Now, of course, the fields already exist, so this time we don't need to recreate the fields. So we add the constraint to all of the tables once again, and now we can go ahead and inspect. So let's go ahead and inspect the products table, and let's take a look. So we have our indexes of foreign key constraints, and now at the end it says onDelete restrict. So we've made those changes now to all of our one-to-many relationships. To give you an idea where Cascade might be useful, let's imagine we have this users table and we further normalized this, and we ended up creating a new table which would also hold related information, say addresses for each of our users. So we had an address table which was purely created to store addresses for users. So if we had this address table, then Cascade would probably be a good choice, because we have related data, so we would have some sort of relationship, a one-to-many relationship, and using Cascades in that instance means that if we delete a user, it would also delete their address, and in that instance that would probably be a good case of using Cascades, because we wouldn't want to have an address which was related to a user that doesn't exist anymore. As we work through the different relationships, we will find that Cascade will be useful, particularly maybe with the stock management and product table. So when we delete a product, we no longer need to record information regarding its stock. So that could be a good instance where we use Cascade between that relationship. So when defining foreign keys in PostgreSQL and other databases, we can specify an onDelete action to control what happens when the referenced parent record is deleted. We've learned that if we need strict data integrity, then the onDelete restrict is probably the safest option. If deletion is expected, then we might consider the onDelete cascade or set null instead. And we always drop to recreate constraints if modifying existing foreign keys.